crossroads that humanity had to face throughout its existence have shaped it to the way that it is now. All the ideas of survival and the rate at which we have evolved are consequences of the decisions that were made along this point. While I was preparing for this speech, I kept on thinking of a good example that I could use as a reference in my speech. And the story that kept coming into my mind was Julian Kopka's story. Her story begins on the eve of Christmas in 1971 when the plane that she was traveling on with her mother was struck by a lightning and broken up in midair. She was still strapped onto her seat as the Lance's Flight 508 sent her crashing down 3,000 meters and landing her somewhere in the Amazon rainforest. Miraculously, she survived the fall. She also survived 10 days alone in the Amazon rainforest. The choices that she made, or the choices that she could have made while she faced her own crossroads, led to completely different outcomes. Each of these outcomes deviated from different paths. The point that I'm trying to make is that if this one person, not 100, not 1,000, not even 1 million, if this one person is able to survive the Amazon jungle with an indestructible will of hope, along with such a powerful mental ability that she used to alter her mindset regardless of the near impossibility of her survival. Imagine the might that we 7 billion plus humans will have if we use these gifts. What would the future of our next of kin be like? What new ideas of survival will they develop from our decisions, and what would they evolve into or become from the choices that we make when we face our crossroads? For centuries, humanity have faced countless of them. All the decisions that we have chosen and all the paths that we have taken have led us to where we are now. Currently, one of the crossroads that we are facing is the globalization of environmental crisis. We could take the path towards our right by completely ignoring the issue and leaving the ones behind us to deal with the consequences, or we could take the path towards our left and deal with it. Take lead, take the leadership, take the action, step forward, and face this thing together. What legacy we will leave for the ones that are coming up behind us? Now, I know the phrase the environmental or the globalization of environmental crisis seems like a very big issue, which it is. Even the term itself, according to the Oxford Dictionary, the first edition of the Oxford Dictionary of Environmental and Conservation by Chris Park, defines it as a term that is used to describe the sum or the amount of environmental problems that we face today. With an issue so big, the obvious response that anyone would give would be, well, what could I do? How could I possibly make an impact? But you see, by doing so, we are allowing our fears and our doubts and our uncertainty cloud over our better judgment. Of course, it's a rapidly expanding issue. Of course, it's bigger than us. But the city of Rome was not built in one day. And our journey from this crossroad will take more than a day before we can even see rays of hope penetrating through the cracks of uncertainty ahead. So what could we do? The first step that we can do is we can start by educating ourselves, not just about what an environmental crisis is, but the threats that we are facing and the threats that we will be facing because of it. Climate change is already affecting our health. Due to the increased emissions of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, people's respiratory systems are being affected by this thing. According to the World Health Organization, an estimated number of 7 million people die every year worldwide from air pollution. Air pollution is one of the main contributing factors towards our environment's deteriorating health. The damages that have been done to our respiratory systems is in effect because of this issue. We need to be able to educate ourselves and those, as well as those that are around us, about the consequences that we are facing now and the consequences that we will be facing in the future because of this. But as actively as we are to talk the talk, we need to be able to walk the talk. And that is how we take the second step. The only way that we can progress into taking the second step is by practicing what we preach. We cannot just educate ourselves and make ourselves aware of the issues that we're facing and not do anything about it. Doing so is like knowing what to do to save the health of our planet, and just choosing not to do anything about it. Wondering, well, what actions can I actually take? There's so much that we can do that can make an impact. In 2020, around September, the United Nations posted the Global Biodiversity Outlook 5 report, which stated that if actions such as conserving our ecosystems that are intact and restoring the ones that have been damaged, as well as combating and reversing land degradation, can help to reduce the negative impacts that our planet's land and forests are facing at the moment. Together, we can do it. We can take action, we can take the lead, and we can do it. Our legacy will not be of ignorance. Our legacy will be of taking action. And we need to keep acting, we need to keep persevering, because only if we keep on acting and doing these things will change come. Our perseverance needs to stay alive for change to happen. And that is the third step that we need to take. To ensure that humanity will keep on taking steps forward, we need to be consistent and we need to keep persevering in our actions and our words. Having the knowledge and the understanding to be able to develop plans and actions against this issue is one thing. Having the perseverance and the determination to keep going regardless of the outcome is the ultimate key to our success against this issue. There is a beautiful quote that goes, "A small body of determined spirits, fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission, can alter the course of history." These beautiful words spoken by Mahatma Gandhi need no clarification for me. From the man himself who led the Salt March in Dundee, India, on the 5th of April, 1930, his actions and the power of his influence were so strong that even after he was arrested a month later, on the 5th of May, people still persevered and carried out his actions to break the British law non-violently. We as one race, the human race, need to be able to keep persevering even in the face of adversity, because the power of our actions will influence those behind us to keep on going, to keep on persevering even after we have gone. This is the legacy that we need to leave behind. There are 3 things that we can learn from Jillian Kopka's journey, and 3 things that we can leave as our legacy: the power of knowledge, the power of action, and the power of determination. Let us take the first step in educating ourselves and those around us about the consequences that we will face, or the consequences that we are facing now because of these environmental issues. Let us also continue to take on the second step by leading an example and showing those behind us what needs to be done. Let us leave an influence so strong and so powerful that even after we have gone, the ones behind us will persevere and continue to take steps forward because of the legacy that we have left behind. My name is Cheryl Boletu, and I hope that as we stand facing this crossroad, we will make the right decisions for the ones that come behind us. Thank you.